I'm not going to take it. You take it if you want it.
Yeah, I'd like you to pay for it.
I bet you would. I bet you would. Hey, I'm Sam.
Hey, I'm Mickey.
And together we are Peacock Dreams.
Got a little show on Freecast and been playing together for 2 years.
We don't actually dig that often together, really, do we? You know what I mean? Like usually like record fairs or something like that. But you know,
today we go. What are we saying? Rhubarb Records today. We're digging for DVDs. Pretty rare again.
Dun, 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 Peacock Dreams.
This is Rhubarb in Vic Park. Rhubarb Records. It's recently changed owners. I come here probably once every like 2, 3, 4 months or something. Nobody really knows about this place in terms of like, everybody comes here for like, you know, rock and indie and all this kind of stuff, but under that little table there's loads of good 12s and nobody knows about them.
I think we've kind of been gatekeeping until right now, so the word is out.
What's the budget? Let's see what happens. I've not been here for a long time.
I mean, there is no budget really when it comes to records, is there? You know, like, I like to call the budget fluid, depending on how good the collection is in the shop. We met actually through a mutual friend who's now left the country, so big ups Paul. Ooh. A friend of ours was at a jazz festival in Scarborough and old mate Paul's like, oh, me and my roommate, we're trying to learn how to play vinyl, and I was like, yeah, no worries, let's do it. Let's put something together.
Yeah, Sam's been playing for like 10 years or so he was pretty keen to like teach people, and then one day I just went to his house, I just sent him a text and he was having like a little party, playing some tunes. So I brought a few records there and then he told me how to play. And then, like, just taught me everything pretty much. Just like played on the rotary for the first time and that was it. And then it's been about 2 years.
And now he's away. I've got an edit of this on Love Drop. Love Drop's done an edit of it. Is it Lebanon?
Yeah, I was just about to say, this is very like...
Is that Lebanon? Yeah, that was,
Middle Eastern.
Is that, what is that? Is that edits as well?
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. This is nice. That could be nice to start, actually. Opening track. Sam knows that I like anything that's like quite instrumental, pretty slow and like kind of like sexy. And this is one of them for sure.
I wouldn't have asked him to play if I didn't know he had good music taste, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like I knew that he had the taste and he's quite clearly got the passion, you know what I mean?
He had like a few gigs at Grotto in Scarborough and then he was like, do you want to come and play with me? And I was like, I'm definitely not ready for this.
If you throw yourself into the deep end sooner rather than later.
Yeah, now I feel way more comfy. I had to get pretty pissed, but we made it work. In terms of like transition and stuff, like it was terrible. But we made it work and then 2 years down the road, we're here. Yeah.
So straight away, little white label thing here. Now it says Jamelia on the top here, but I've got to check it out straight away because there's one side, there's a pretty gnarly scratch on there, but there's no guaranteeing that is what's on this, you know what I mean? So let's check it out. I think we're both disco kids at heart, but we also love to play a lot of house. Heavy on the old school acid house, I'd say, because that's kind of like what I grew up around. Well, it's like Chicago music that came to Manchester and then sort of like just permeated the whole of the north of England. Early 90s, late 80s. But I grew up around that in the house, you know. Pretty deep. It's definitely not Jamelia. I'm pretty sure it's not anyway. Some deep electronic industrial house. Oof, it's interesting, very like noughties. So there's that, then there's the deep house section which is pretty big, but also then like disco section's huge like Miggy says, you know. And then stuff sprouts off from that. Brazil Boogie, the Japanese section's going pretty well now. Alright, definitely playable. It's not like we have to do everything together. It's just, I find it, I don't know about you, but I find it more fun. Yeah, I think that's worth a little shout. $10, straight in.
It looks like a bad boy, this one. Look at this.
Is that Dennis Roussos again?
Yes, same dude.
I better give you a look down here, Mickey, before I absolutely rinse it off.
Bit of a workout here, to be fair. Every time I come in, my legs are just photo. When I first arrived here, I had to like do some farm work and everything to be able to stay here and just extend my visa and whatnot. And I bought this like tiny little mixer, it's about this size, it was so small. You still got the stool somewhere?
It's not very big.
Oh yeah, that was the one, yeah. There you go.
That's a bit better.
It was in Mildura in Victoria, and just a small little town, just packing oranges, you know. Every Saturday night was just like a party night. Everybody just had a crack, just getting a bit messy. And then from there, I came back in, just like bought my first controller. I had like a little XDJ RX2. Yeah, this is nice. Went to Mills one day and I was just flicking through his records and I saw Idris Mermaids doing this mother amp. I bought this one and then it was a slippery slope. Like literally, it was just, I didn't have my record player or anything like that. It's been like a year now or 2 years, and I probably have like 6 million. It's a true addiction, and I guess it could be worse. I could be into like stealing or taking drugs. Yeah, that's a bit of me. There's nice little electro vocals. It's cool.
Got a few here to listen to. We've got some Larry Levan mixes here, hidden mixes. Larry Levan for me, God, like undisputed. MTA Records, always worth checking out. Bit of disco sort of stuff. And then we've got Morgan Geist here. I just played a Morgan Geist tune last night at C Paradiso, which was pretty Balearic and banging. So, all right, Larry Levan. I think the obvious answer is if I could swap my vinyl crate with anybody for a night, it would be Larry Levan, but I'd say a close second would be Justin Robertson out of Manchester. Probably one of the best live DJs I've ever seen. I think like the ultimate compliment for me is if somebody says to you, I didn't realise how much I wanted to hear that tonight. So if you can play a record maybe that somebody doesn't know for the first time, or if you play something that somebody's forgotten about, you know what I mean, and it brings them back, like, it doesn't have to be like a full set or anything, you know, just if you can give those moments to people. And this is why he's God. I think we can definitely work this into the mix. Yeah.
Nice, eh?
So nice. Check that out.
That's a bit of you, that. Oh, the keys are nice, eh?
Yeah, super nice. This is pretty good. This is pretty good, yeah, I think we've got 3.
Usually on Freecast we just play, well, the show is for 2 hours every 2 weeks, so we usually play just like new stuff that we just bought. We usually start like pretty chill, just like with some lots of like jazzy, ambient, soul, just a bit of like, you know, slow stuff, and then we do some like little specials. We do some like African and Brazilian and all this kind of stuff. But our sound is like very eclectic, like we literally play a bit of everything. So
I think that's like one of the main reasons that we called ourselves Peacock Dreams, is because we didn't want it to tie us down to a genre. When we went to see DJ Coco last year,
yeah,
man, that guy just is multi-genre. He can switch from like 80s pop to jazz funk in like a song like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just gives you that bit of a license to be able to say, oh well, we're not a deep house outfit, we're not an acid house outfit, we're not a disco outfit. That was the idea anyway.
I've just met so many good people through Downjam. I mean, it's community radio, and it's just like, that's exactly what it is. Like, it's just a beautiful community down there.
It's a chance to meet people that are like-minded, you know, people that have also got passion for music. It might not be the same music as you, but I think that creates a good little melting pot of like cultural happenings, you know what I mean?
And so far we've pretty much done just vinyls actually on the radio as well. So it feels like you always need to keep on buying more, which is a bit of a vicious circle, but keeps you like digging and just like always trying to like find more stuff as well, which is good.
We should do it more often, but
What?
digging
together?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like, when I come here, I like just having this table for myself.
Yeah. Get off, get off. squelching. It's pretty cool. I've actually picked up like quite a few records lately where I've been like, oh, that could be really nice just for a little cheeky sample, you know what I mean? So that's what I'd see this one as like, definitely, maybe not playable, but...
Sam hasn't told you, but he makes music as well. Express a few.
We've put quite a few tracks out when I was back at home, yeah. I've got one of them at home, it came out on Super Spicy Records, a Mexican label. Yeah, I think when you're the most isolated city in the world, it's pretty important to have a local scene, isn't it? Because you know you don't get quite as much as like Melbourne and Sydney do coming from overseas. So in Perth as well, we've got a really good scene of like outdoor parties because we've got like such a nice amount of space here and the weather's great and stuff. So I feel like that's a little thing that Perth's got above, like certainly back at home anyway. That is for sure.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He used to live in Scarborough, just by the beach, and he used to have this like little, what was it, like a little...
It's like a little summer house lean-to type thing. If you squeeze people in, you could probably get like, what, 20 people in there or
Yeah,
something?
20, 30, yeah. But it was just brilliant. It was like the first time playing vinyls for people as well, you know what I mean? It was rough, and everybody was like on one, but yeah, that was really good, yeah.
Word kind of got out and like,
Yeah.
we ended up having like 40 or 50 people in the house at one time, you know, people like spilling out of the summer house. I think those kind of parties are often the best out there, you know, like you're not necessarily in like a venue or anything like that. Nobody's looking over the shoulder or anything, everybody's super relaxed, you know what I mean? People can express themselves. Yeah, no requests allowed, definitely.
For the same one, eh?
Nah, different one, a bit of Latin house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Bit quicker, bit of a party tune. Tony Singori, the Latin fashion. Never heard of it before, but it's working. That's very tribal, very tribal.
That's not really,
That's nice.
You play, eh?
Tribal?
Yes.
Of course it is. Play everything, mate, don't we? That's what I've just been trying to say.